Happy Friday. So I'm not gonna keep you too long today because I don't want to. You know, I got stuff to do. I'm not feeling too great. I'm recovering from a crazy leg workout. It's raining like crazy. I wanted to ride today. There's just a lot of going on. So check this out. Every time is not playtime, folks. You know, and this is the deal. You know, you could be closing yourself off from so many things because, you know, you may be too jokey or playing when people may not be going through, playtime at that point in time. People may be going through hardships, they may be going through troubles, and you don't necessarily want to bring people down, but you want to communicate with them on their level. And so a lot of this is feeling out the situation, looking for the keys that tell you what someone's mood is. You know, and a lot of this goes back to, opportunity. You know, if someone's not really like your friend, or you're trying to put these energies out into the world, do you want people thinking that you're playing all the time? Do you want people to think that you cater to an immature mindset or an immature way of like thinking? Because a lot of the time, people will compartmentalize you that way. See, a lot of the time, people, respond in a way that is the lowest common denominator of what you put out. So you may be an atrociously or an egregious, level. Well, I guess I wouldn't say egregious. You may have an atrocious level of confidence, education, wisdom, or what have you. But they will look at, like when you are performing at your least, when you are exuding a behavior that is the lowest level of behavior that you can, show at any given time, people are going to say, okay, they're going to tag you as, okay, that's that person. That's the way that person is. That person's immature. That person's always playing. That person's always joking. And that's what they see you as in their mind. And so what is that closing you off from? If that person goes out and they're talking to someone that may need something that you provide, but that person's serious, they're gonna say, oh, well, that's not really a good match because that person's always playing. I don't know if they're necessarily like, professional enough to deal with you. And see, I did a video before that, months ago about our behavior, about, the way that we put ourselves out in the world. See, it's not the person who responds to our behavior that is necessarily doing anything wrong, because, what people feel about us isn't any of our business. But if we behave in a certain way, us as adults, we're not children. I'm teaching this stuff to my son already, who's only 6. If you are performing a behavior that is going to, in your mind, induce these kinds of realities in other people, that's on you. And the way I look at it is in percentages, first of all, number one is I'm only going to joke around with certain people or be immature or play around with certain people. And the big point of that is it's not going to be a high percentage of my time. See, my days, like most other adults, especially ones that have, other people depending on them for guidance and care, a large amount of your day is like, in serious, a serious reality. You're thinking about, life strategies and, and you're thinking about, your energy output for like your kids and what are the things that need to be taken care of for your kids first. I got to handle all this stuff for my kids before I can even do all this stuff that I need to do for me. And so, I look at, most people that are where I want to be. that's where their minds are at. You know, like my mentors, their minds aren't in like a play jokey. You know, I'm not saying they don't have, you know, little like snippets of time where they're like that, but the majority of the time is like this seriousness. And it's because people have goals and you have actionable steps that you're going through on a daily basis. If you're playing around, it's like those goals and those things that need to be done on a daily basis aren't getting spearheaded at the same magnitude that they would be getting, you know, spearheaded in as if you're thinking in a serious mind state or mindset. I'm not saying don't joke. I joke around a lot. I joke around a lot with my son. I joke around a lot with my partner behind closed doors. I joke around a lot, you know, in my day-to-day life. I'm telling jokes all day long, but, you know, things like joking around on social media all the time, putting that energy out there that, you know, like this is a game or we're joking all the time. Not my thing. You know, on social media, you know, there was a period of time, I talked about this in that video. There was a period of time, you know, years ago when I have my partner. I got eyes for only my partner. I don't care about anyone else. You know, that's just the way it is. You know, you can believe it or not. But I was posting back in 2011. I was trying to get a page going, and I was posting all these fitness pictures, all these women. People were calling me a pervert, you know, because of the stuff I was posting. So I learned back then, you can be a daddy, you know, or papa. You can be, you know, a partner and be a one-woman man and all these other things. But people are going to perceive your behavior based off of what you put out there, especially on channels like social media and different things of that nature. So I tight-lipped and tightened up the way that I, you know, interacted with people on social media, especially publicly, you know, because, you know, in all reality, you know, like I said, I play with my friends and with my family, but in my real life, I'm not your friend. I'm not a jokey person. I'm not. I'm very serious in my everyday life, and I'm watching people and I'm looking at what they say and I'm analyzing them. And, you know, if you can crack the code of what it takes to be in my circle of trust, then maybe, you know, you'll have interactions with me like that. But if that's not the case, you know, playtime's over. You know, I'm approaching 40 years old. My son's getting older. I'm trying to set an example. I'm not trying to be play and jokey all the time. You know what I mean? I don't want people on the outside looking in to be, you know, saying things to my son down the road like, oh, your dad's a goof, or your dad plays games all the time, or, you know, he seems like a funny guy or anything like that. I mean, it's cool to be, you know, a funny person with people that know you. But the way I want to be known for is spreading topics that help people, you know, being professional, being a leader, being assertive, being someone when people look at you, he's on top of things. He's on top of his life. He's not clowning around and playing around all the time. This is a person that takes control of life, that honors his opportunities, that has control of his behavior, that does all he can to control the way that outside, you know, people and the way that others feel about him. Does he care about how they feel about him? No. But he cares about what his output is, you know, in his day-to-day life that induces those kinds of thoughts. Because people are going to say whatever they want to say about you. I'm not stupid. You know, I've lived my life. I'm living my life. I learn every day, and I analyze the things that I go through that can help me to blossom into a higher-minded individual. So, yeah, people are going to, you know, you may do one thing and people are going to say another. But the thing is when you have control of what you do, see, you know in your heart, I only put this out there. So if they're thinking that way, it's like jealousy, false reality, making up stuff, and I'm cool with that. I'm solid with that. I only care about what it is that I'm putting out. That's what I focus on. I don't focus on what everyone's saying or what they think, or, you know, because I spend my personal time with very few people. Unless you're collecting, you know, your own thoughts based off of the behavior that I put on Facebook, which is very, very, you know, refined, then you don't really know me. You know, just like I don't really know you. You know, when I get off of these videos, I could go out here and strip down buck naked and run around like a fool and then come back and do the video the next day. If you're not around me on a daily basis and you're not in my realm on a daily basis, you don't know who I am. You don't know what I am. You don't know what I'm capable of. You know nothing. Just like the same as you. I don't know anything about people. That's why I try as best as I can not to pass judgments, gossip, and say silly stuff about people, because you really just don't know. You know, you really don't know about what people got going on. So, you know, watch your behavior. You know, don't be joking around all the time. Playtime's over. You know, it's like joke around during the right times, joke around when you feel like people are in the mood to play. Happy Friday.